the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are pleased to select from the London Knights of the Ontario Hockey League, Nazem Kadri.
Nazem Kadri becomes the second London Knight to go early in the first round of this draft, as Kadri is taken 7th overall by the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, the Ottawa Senators aren't going to be happy with it. The Ottawa Senators really wanted Nazem Kadri. They don't get him. Brian Burke beats him to the punch. You look at Luke Shen going 5th overall last year, Bob. Now you have Nazem Kadri going to the Toronto Maple Leafs with the number 7 pick. And you also have Yuri Toulouse from a few years ago. So now they're starting to build on their foundation with an explosive offensive player like Kadri, Bob.
Chance to be a very good offensive player, Pierre. Great hands, great skill, great mind for the game. Mark Hunter, the general manager of the London Knights, says, there's been all this talk about whether Matthew Shane's in the same class as John Tavares. He thinks there should be a little more talk about whether Nazem Kadri should be in the same class as Matthew Shane and John Tavares for what he wants. And Pierre, you're absolutely right. The Senators would have loved to get a center of Nazem Kadri's pedigree, but they weren't able to do that. With the other thing about Kadri, the scouts will tell you there's 2 Nazem Kadris. One is the guy that showed up at the World Junior Camp last summer and dominated, was the best player on the ice. He was terrific with the Kitchener Rangers in the playoffs a year ago, terrific in the playoffs this year. But the other Nazem Kadri is the guy that sometimes rather inconsistent and in and outer, who doesn't always share the puck well with his teammates. So Mark Hunter says in the games that matter most, he steps up, and this guy's got tremendous potential.
Here's the interplay between Brian Burke and Brian Murray of Ottawa just before the Maple Leafs made their pick.
Well, Kadri's a good one to take. Is that the kid you want? Yeah. No, we're going to take him. Okay. All right, let's go. That's him, to the T. You want to know Brian Burke? That's what you do when you work for Brian Burke, or if you're working against him. He's straight, he's to the point, he looks in the eye, and he tells you, this is where we're going. You want the pick, you want the player, make the deal. Ottawa didn't want to make the deal. Burke took the player, and now Toronto's happy. Their rebuild well underway, and it really started with Luke Shen at 5 last year, and it will continue with Kadri this year.
I'm not sure if a player of Lebanese descent has ever been taken. It certainly hasn't been taken this high. The family of Nazem Kadri came to Canada in 1968 from Lebanon. His father didn't play hockey. He was 4 years old. His father was 4 years old when they arrived in Canada. He was too poor growing up to be able to play hockey. Couldn't afford equipment, but wanted to make sure that he gave Nazem that opportunity. This was a terrific kid playing in the London minor hockey system growing up. Mark Hunter talked about him. His kids played against him growing up in Ontario, and said that he was always a dominant player. He's got tremendous offensive ability. He's just got to work on his consistency and show that his attitude is going to be there every single night when he gets to the next level.
We're pointing out a broken jaw.
Yes.
Just before Christmas. So that kept him, he went to Canada's World Junior Camp, but wasn't able to really compete at a high level because of the broken jaw, but lit it up in the second half.
Now we talked about the Evander Kane situation with character. I'll give you a Nazem Kadri character story from yesterday. I was in the hotel lobby with him. He was sitting by a